Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think I'll have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
And we won't stop. We will not stop.
Sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
See this? How you cannot go
baby,
again?
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family. Come on in, you guys. I was just coming on for a minute, you guys. I was checking out the judge and the request of, I guess it's the indictment on the Naziah Harris case. And I know we haven't went through this, you guys, but I wanted every part of it we're going to go through. So, let's go through it a little bit. I didn't download it, so I'm gonna show and share my screen. Let me see if I can get in here. Maybe get in here. Yeah. Yep. Maybe get in here so I can see it. But I wanted to go over it, and I want you guys to go over it too. So we're gonna look at it together. Share. Okay, here we go.
Highlighted in case is the quote. In this case, there was no physical evidence such as bloodstains or a weapon leaking defendant to Joyce's death. In this case, we don't have the same facts or circumstances. I do agree. This is a circumstantial case and circumstantial for bind over and even conviction. Today is January 9th, 2025, exactly 1 year, from the day Naziah Harris disappeared. Before I get into the charges, and the main charge of premeditated first-degree murder, I have to speak on Naziah Harris and the community who failed her. and I am only presented with certain evidence. I don't know the whole story. The attorneys know more than me, the family knows more than me, but from what I have heard over the last 4 days and 5 days total, is that several people failed her. I don't know where her mother is. I don't know anything other than that she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected or given the adequate attention and love. I don't know where her father is. I don't have any mention of him in her life, no presence. To Cordell, AKA King, and all the men who saw Jarvis Butts hanging out and always around these young girls, including Naziah, and his 9-year-old daughter going up to the shop to clean up his shop. The school counselor who never showed up, or the person who was supposed to show up if that counselor was absent, after Naziah was on the floor on the day she went missing, saying that she needed to speak to someone and speak to a counselor. There's no mention of CPS, but I wonder what their involvement was over the years, because this was not just a one-year thing. There are text messages at least from 2022. To her adoptive grandmother, Naziah Harris.
You guys, I'm going to say this because I know a lot of you guys don't know that on the day that Naziah came up missing, and it is a big factor there, she was at school and she was laying on the floor complaining about her stomach aching. And she wanted to talk to a counselor. Can you just imagine your child at school and wanting to talk to a counselor? I don't know how a child's supposed to get any attention, any answers, anybody to help this child. If she's on the floor at school, she may not want it to go through whatever she was going through, or whoever told her, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I mean, you guys get it. You guys understand what I'm saying? Like, if this is not a cry out for help, like help, maybe they want me to get this abortion. I don't want to do it. Maybe, hey, I want to tell somebody, hello, ESK. I want to tell somebody what's going on. I want to, this is before she even made a text message. She was, how can you not, this is a reach out. She could have been hurting. You guys, she could have already went through whatever. I'm serious. She's at school. She can't get help at home. She done already text at home. Hey, TT. Respecting somebody. Hey, TT. What y'all doing? Minding. That's her answer. Minding. Well, what grandma doing? Minding. Get back to work. So your kid goes to school. I told you guys just the other day a situation that I was in Sunday night going into Monday morning. I told you guys nobody didn't help this lady at work or whatever, and then there I am, and it could have went south. I said to you guys, I don't tell you this stuff for you to know my business. I tell you this stuff because it doesn't make sense to me. Like, all day long, nobody help. Nobody goes and get help, or do an evaluation, do an assessment? Nobody. But then when I get it, I'm like just going through the routine and I'm looking at this woman. I could have left it for the next person. All right, Lisa Taylor, she said she at the eye doctor. But this young lady is at school and she's on the floor. She didn't want the nurse, she wanted the counselor. She wanted to talk to the counselor. Let's listen to what the judge say. Because at number 39, the judge is going to say something. And I just kind of want to go over it because some of you guys didn't hear it.
Whose testimony, in my opinion, was very, very questionable. I understand why the people put her on the stand to Naziah's residence and the houses on Bedford and the regular routine to establish also that Naziah was not a runaway child, that she was not a bad kid. I do believe she adopted Naziah. I do believe that she had 6 kids in the house. I believe that Naziah had on a dark hoodie the day she went missing and that she had on red and black Nikes that day. What is hard to believe is that the defendant never came into the house as she testified. And there was also a minor that testified that he did as well.
I don't know if you guys heard what she said. She said what's questionable is, she said, I don't believe that the defendant did not come to the house. I done went over this, and you guys need to help me understand, why would this judge say that? Yes, Wayman, help means help. I don't get what she's saying. I don't get what the judge is saying. Let me back it up. You guys tell me what the judge is saying when she said the defendant didn't come to the house. What is she saying?
I do believe she adopted Naziah. I do believe that she had 6 kids in the house. I believe that Naziah had on a dark hoodie the day she went missing and that she had on red and black Nikes that day. What is hard to believe is that the defendant never came into the house as she testified.
She said what's hard to believe is the defendant said she came to the house when she testified. So she's saying Annette is lying. Is she saying Annette is lying about when she came to the house? Because she definitely can't be talking about Naziah, because Naziah is gone. She's not the defendant. Yolanda says yes, Annette. So the judge is saying Annette is lying and Annette was already at the house. Let's
Naziah was not a runaway child, that she was not a bad kid. I do believe she adopted Naziah. I do believe that she had 6 kids in the house. I believe that Naziah had on a dark hoodie the day she went missing and that she had on red and black Nikes that day. What is hard to believe is that the defendant never came into the house as she testified. And there was also a minor that testified that he did as well. Text messages that show between him and his.
That's what I want to know. So she's saying that Naziah made it to the house? Wayman said Annette lied about Jarvis coming to the house. But she didn't say Jarvis. She didn't say he. She said she. She said she. And you guys, she said she. That's why I'm going back over it. She said she.
To establish also that Naziah was not a runaway child, that she was not a bad kid. I do believe she adopted Naziah. I do believe that she had 6 kids in the house. I believe that Naziah had on a dark hoodie the day she went missing, and that she had on red and black Nikes that day. What is hard to believe is that the defendant never came into the house as she testified. And there was also a minor that testified.
It's hard to believe that the defendant never came into the house as she testified. The defendant never came to the house as she testified. Freddie says, my internet has been, okay, repeating 3 or more times. Oh, it might be me, Freddie. Shauna says, what are we doing looking at the plumbing areas hearing? I don't know what you're talking about. Lisa says, I'm confused. My understanding is the judge was talking about Jarvis did come into the house. No, that's not my understanding. My understanding is not that, Lisa Calhoun. Okay, my understanding is not that. Yolanda says Jarvis. My understanding is not that. Woke the God says, I call in real quick. May I call in real quick? Let me see if I got any. I haven't even looked at this phone. Oh, Lord, I ain't charged it up or nothing because I had lost my charger. But give me 5 minutes. But I'm thinking she's talking about, there we go, Wayman. I think she's talking about, either she's talking about the defendant, when she say defendant, because she says, she's talking about Annette, and she's talking about someone. Yeah, Naziah is not a defendant, is the key word. The defendant is Jarvis. Yes, the defendant is Jarvis, but she's talking about Annette, because remember Annette said she didn't come into the house. Remember Annette said that Shannon said, and then Shannon was like, the kids said, but Annette was like, different. Melinda says, it's hard to believe Jarvis never came in the house as she stated. Exactly, but she's not talking about Jarvis. Jarvis is not the defendant. Jarvis is the defendant, but she's talking about, okay, let's go over it. Let's go over it again. See, that's why sometimes you have to go over stuff. Let me see here.
Also that Naziah was not a runaway child, that she was not a bad kid. I do believe she adopted Naziah. I do believe that she had 6 kids in the house. I believe that Naziah had on a dark hoodie the day she went missing, and that she had on red and black Nikes that day. What is hard to believe is that the defendant never came into the house as she testified. And there was also a minor that testified that he did as well. Text messages that show
I'm sorry, Zena. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. Jarvis is the defendant. Yes, virtuous. Jarvis is the defendant. And I guess Annette, had said that he just don't come into her house and it's always an adult there and he just don't do that. She just don't. I believe that's what she was saying. I really do believe that. Everybody is in agreement. Virtuous is like, yes, Jarvis is the defendant. So Annette, so she's establishing that Annette is lying. See, because you could take it two kind of ways. You could take it that Annette lied. Annette said she didn't go into the house, or you could take it. She's talking about Jarvis, that he always be at the house. I believe she's trying to say, since Jarvis is the defendant, she's talking about Annette lying, talking about Jarvis. See, Okay, let's listen to the rest as well. Exactly. That's why we're going to.
I do believe she adopted Naziah. I do believe that she had 6 kids in the house. I red and black Nikes that day. What is hard to believe is that the defendant never came into the house as she testified. And there was also a minor that testified that he did as well. Text messages that show between him and Naziah that he did in the basement, saying he was going to the shower, stealing her panties. He was always lurking around that house and asking for Janiyah and Zaniyah, from what I know.
Okay, so that clears that up. You guys, that clears that up really easily. Emma is saying the judge is pointing out how Annette and Shannon lied and was saying that Jarvis gets to come and go in this house. And she also said, this is why I'm telling you guys, you can't just get a little bit of piece of information. You just gotta you gotta listen, pick out what you want to pick out, and then make sure that's what you heard or what you're hearing. She let the Harris family know they failed that baby. Well, everybody really felt the baby. You're right. She is letting them know they felt the baby. That's
I even thought about the breakfast routine and saying that all the kids like eating breakfast at school. Did they have a choice? I don't know. But to always send those girls up there to clean up the shop raises questions. And how were there two women in that house who have birthed children themselves who did not notice that Naziah was pregnant, and I believe she was, and not having her period anymore? But then after hearing text messages today, begging Jarvis for pads as if she didn't have anyone else to give them her.
okay. I'm going to say this, you guys. So the judge says, she said, there was more than 6 kids. Shannon 5 and her 2 foster is 7. But at the time, you got to remember, Shannon didn't have 5. She only had 4. At the time, Shannon only had 4 kids. So 4, and then there's 2, makes 6. And you got to think, Shannon had 4, and there was Naziah. That makes 5. And then there was another kid. And remember, her brother was not there. So, yeah.
What stood out the most was when Annette Harris stood on the stand, and she learned around 6 p.m. that Naziah did not come home from school, and said she looked around for her and decided to wait until the next morning to call the police. Without a tear, without emotion, or any expression of being devastated. And to her Aunt Shannon, who also showed no emotion, expression of being devastated from Naziah going missing. She stated that she had friends help look for Naziah, but was directed to just wait until the morning to call the police. A grown woman who likely suspected something strange going on didn't feel the need to call the police either. They were both able to go to sleep at night without hearing from Naziah or having any indication that she was coming home that night.
So let me see here. Someone in the chat is saying Shannon had 5 kids when Naziah came up missing. No, Shannon was pregnant, remember? Nurse. Shannon was pregnant. She had 4. And after Naziah was missing, Jay says she did. That last child born January 2023. No, y'all. Okay. Shannon's got, okay, let me. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. We'll just listen.
And of course, the defendant, who I will get to in a minute. I don't know who else failed Naziah, but the community did. As far as the people establishing probable cause, I will focus on count 1 as it's been stated that there is no contention with counts 2 and 3. In count 3, I will amend based off of the motion and the testimony I heard that Naziah was 12 and not 13 at the time that Jarvis Butts had sexual intercourse with her. The prosecution is correct. You do not have to have a body to establish first-degree premeditated murder. It would have been a much shorter exam had her body been found, but this is where we are. In the last 365 days, no text messages. We all heard today and yesterday that she was very active and frequently texted. No social media for a year. We heard through testimony that she was also active on social media. No phone calls, which she was also able to do according to testimony. No physical sighting of her by anyone. She never came back to school. No one has seen her. Medical records dated from July 2014 to October 2023 indicated that she had no life-threatening medical issues that would lead to a natural cause of death. The black hoodie found in the area of 7 Muhlenberg with her DNA and blood on it. The holes in the hoodie consistent with some sort of struggle, violence, or weapon being used. And we know that there were no holes in that hoodie when she wore it to school. We saw a picture of her in a black hoodie on her last day that everyone saw her. I do believe her grandma testified truthfully about the sweatshirt that she had on and that was practically new. And the border agent who said that no evidence of animals would have destroyed the clothing or the shoes to possibly lead to animals tearing up that hoodie. The clear glasses found in the blue Nissan the day after she went missing. The behavior of the defendant when he snatched those glasses. They looked exactly like the glasses she had on in her last picture, according to the witness. The shoes that her brother described as the same shoes that were found also in the area of 7 Muhlenberg near the hoodie. While this is still probable cause, the evidence all points to Jarvis Butts. His locations, him being seen with her last, the abortion searches, the abrupt silence between the two of them in text messages, and the constant lies he told throughout the entire investigation. And they were proven to be lies with text messages and other testimony. We may never know what happened, but from what I heard today and over the last 4 or 5 days, it appears he intended to perform what he thought was a do-it-yourself abortion on Naziah. It went south, and instead of seeking medical attention for her, he intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up. As much as I want her to be alive today, there is at least probable cause to show and believe that she's dead and that she was murdered by Jarvis Butts. Mr. Butts, stand up. You've been sitting over there for 4 days with your head down, sitting between and behind your attorneys with your mask on and taking vigorous notes. I want you to pay attention and listen to everything I have to say. I have been trying to figure out for the last 5 days, you. At one point, I thought you were cognitively impaired in the beginning of this exam. And then maybe you had the brain of a 10-year-old, and that's why you were doing such things. But as I heard more and more testimony, you're just the true definition of a pedophile. Watching you laugh and brag about all the women you have with different women and the children and the girlfriends, and making babies to groom them and having them in your presence, cleaning up your shop, and the little girls around you has landed you here today. You groomed Naziah. You played mind games with her. We all heard that. You controlled her emotionally. She was exposed to so much at such a young age. The text messages between you two were disgusting to hear. And to think that she had you saved in her phone as bae for life. Naziah deserved so much more. And while I mentioned other people that failed her, Jarvis Butts, you are the monster in this whole picture. She did deserve love from her parents and everyone who was in her life. She was ignored, she was neglected, and you took complete advantage of that. She wanted someone to love her, and she will never know what that feels like. Your children deserve more. As much as defense counsel has raised issues on count one, all that has done is raise the question of fact for the trier of fact, which means that this will be for a jury or a judge to hear at Third Circuit. I pray for the healing of all the victims and the young girls and possibly boys who have come into contact with you. As a community, we should look at this case as a prime example of how much work we have to do when it comes to protecting our children and especially our Black girls. I pray for closure and healing for all those who have been traumatized by you. And for you, Jarvis Butts, I wish you a speedy trial and that justice be delivered. Your bind over date is January 16th at 9:00 a.m. As far as Fisher, I agree with the people that this case is the child.
Okay. So you guys, yeah, you know, I believe this judge was doing a great job, doing a very good job. Good job. Exactly. Mm. Well, Ivy, if you don't come in here being negative, we can have a conversation. But we were going over the judge ruling, and we were going over why the judge is saying what they're saying. There's not going to be any new news since, until he either speaks about it or he pleads guilty or somebody else come out and say anything. You know that just as well as I know that. But we are still going to keep our face out there. We're still going to keep an understanding this child means something to somebody, to a lot of us. She said, I ain't being negative, yo, chill. Well, what we're doing, Ivy, you came in and this is what you said. It still shows up on my monitor. It says, this is old. When is there new stuff going to come out? I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying, we're over here still wanting to keep the child's face out there because there is hope. She says, I know what I said. Okay, well, I'm letting you know, it, I don't know how you could not take it being negative. It was January when it was all put out, when it went to court. So we all knew that too. But, but thank you. But this girl means a lot to all of us. And we're just looking at how this is why everybody failed this girl. The school failed her, the people that adopted her so-called grandmother and her aunties and the school and CPS. Everybody failed her because everybody wanted to just shut up. Oh, that's old. I mean, come on now. Did she not mean something to just women, period? I mean, we can go on to another case because there's always another child. But we gotta sometimes look at what happened, how we failed this girl. Because as a community, as a whole, regardless if she stays in your state or not, she means something to somebody. At least can you learn from what happened? I know. See, I don't go in other people's channel and start bashing them about what they talking about or whatever. I just don't. You know why? Because it's just like if it was your car. Your car, you drive it the way you want to drive it. You want to drive it fast, drive it fast. You want to drive it to the same place every day, drive it to the same place every day. But this child was somebody's child, and she should matter. And yes, I want new news too. I do. But people act like, and I don't know if Ivy is still here, but people, I'm not saying you. I'm saying people act like it doesn't matter. Like, like on to the next. Somebody's going to have to be more liable than just the person, because the pervert that got to her, they couldn't get to her unless everybody felt, well, everybody got a job. Whoever adopted her, okay? She's reaching out. She's laying on the floor. She's crying out for the counselor to come talk. Ain't nobody come talk to her. Crappy investigation job. Wait until the next day to even report that she's missing. I mean, you know why? Because people, I'm just saying, you don't want me to call you out, but you over here saying some stuff like it don't matter. It does matter. And I think about this child every day. I'm not blaming you, but I mean, I can only take it the way that you presented it when you came in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, but she just don't leave my mind. And I almost take it like she is my child. So sometimes I do get a little defensive when somebody tell me either, oh, that's old. Yeah, we know it's old. We know we were there. But she matters. She do. Y'all, she do matter. I don't, I'm not trying to make Ivy the center of this attention. I'm just not, but I do sometimes get angry and upset when people say stuff like that. I can give you some new information. It ain't gonna bring her back. I can give you some new information if I wanted to, if I choose to, because I do got it. Oh, but I do. But I'm not the type that you can make me put it out there unless I wanted to. Unless I feel like you're going to get something out of it. It ain't going to be just no chit chatter or, because you asking for some new information, But I do have some if I want to put it out there. But I think the best thing for us is to, since this is always happening, it ain't just happening to black kids, it's happening to all kids. It just happens more likely to black kids. Because guess what? We done got all loose. We done got all whirly. Let me see. No, 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 no. Here it is right here. That's who said it. That's who said it right there. There it is. See, it still shows up on my screen even though I deleted it. It still shows up. So, and I wasn't trying to be mean or anything, but dang, like we do take these babies seriously. Like I just told y'all, I just went through a whole situation. A woman, she was pretty much, you might as well say, give her another hour, she would have been gone. I don't even know what's done happened because I ain't worked in 2 days. But had not I do something, and I'm not patting myself on the back. I will do that though, because I came home and I was like, yeah, I did that. I don't care if I get in trouble. I don't care if they fire me. I don't care. I did the right thing. And that's all I can do. But I couldn't understand why nobody didn't do nothing the whole entire day. The whole entire day. And so when we see these, we call these red flags and all this. Hello?
What's going on?
Nothing. I'm live. What's up, babe?
Oh, nothing. I was just saying what you was doing.
Uh-huh. Yes, you are.
Is your dog still in the kennel?
Yes.
Why you do him like that?
I'm live right now.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. She said, let's not waste time on one comment because I honestly think she meant the clip was old because I saw it and was like, oh, dang, that's old. Not Naziah, but the clip. I know what she was talking about. It doesn't matter. You have a good one. You have a good one too. Okay. So we're talking over here about, well, we were talking yesterday and we were talking about who's the monster. We were talking yesterday about words that you use for people that's pedophiles. And the judge basically said pretty much like what I believe too. Like, these women is in the house. Two grown women. You got Annette and you got Shannon. And I said to you guys, there's no way somebody can come in and groom your kids and do all of this unless you allow it. Unless you allow it. Pretty much. And the Bible speaks of stuff like that. The Bible speaks of you cannot go into a strong man's house and just do what you want to do. I just got through showing you guys a good example. I just said, you will never catch me going to somebody's channel telling them what to do. That's like me getting in somebody's car and saying, hey, why are you going this way? Hey, I need you to go a little slower. I need you to do this. That's old. That's old gas. I don't care. I'm not over there in your channel. This is what we wanted to discuss. And I say this all the time. People get mad at me. I don't care. Hashtag over here, we don't care. You can get mad. But we take it like this over here. Honestly, like, it really needs to stop. We need to start taking care of our kids more better. We need to start taking care of our neighbors' kids more better. Oh, let's just throw it underneath the rug. It don't mean nothing. We done seen that. That's old. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't matter to me what somebody meant. It meant exactly the way I took it. See, that's the thing. And I'm just being honest with you. That's the thing. People want to be more like politically correct all the time. To be honest with you, yeah, I can really care less when a child is missing about being politically correct. Because the way you present it is the way I took it. Whatever you meant. Because see, I mean exactly what I said. I do. I mean exactly what I said. And it makes me mad that we cannot keep this girl's name alive. We cannot keep her picture alive because people want new news. Oh, they want to hear something new. What do you want to hear new? Tell me, and maybe I'll help you out. I will. You want to talk about another child? Look, only thing I got to do, if you want to talk about another child, is just put in missing children. I guarantee you want to pop up for today. This is, the sad thing about this whole situation is we can talk about this every day. And some grown woman will come in here and be just very rude and disrespectful. And I guarantee she's of color too. But I'm not over there telling her how to cook her beans and how to make love to her husband and how to feed her dog. And, did you get up and brush your teeth today? I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that. I mean, it would be nice for us to all get along and give the same freaking respect that these other kids like Amy gets the attention all year. And they play the same thing all day, every day on every freaking channel. But let it be one same color. Oh, 5 minutes of fame, that's all you get. That's old. I swear, you guys, we're going to have to do better. I'm serious. I kid you not. We got to do better. We really do. Because when we're trying to do what gets the attention of these children that's missing, especially the African American ones that gets no attention, it's always somebody black that'll come in here and tell us to shut up. That's old. Don't talk about that. Oh, I got to go. Hey, y'all, guess what? First of all, you didn't even come in here and say hi. But you'll let me know when you leave. Like, y'all, you know what I'm saying? I just can't sometimes. I just can't. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Like, why is it that we can't love on each other in our children, regardless if they're in Timbuktu, and treat them just like Amy gets treated? Give them the same recognition, whether they hear or not. Why is it always got to be? And that makes me madder than anything. It really does. I'm sorry. Like, we can't just, whether we find her or not, or find her deceased or not, can we all just, we're the only, I kid you not, we are the only group, I say species in this world that hurts each other, kill each other, talk bad about each other. Just tell us some more. Give us some more details. Give us some more gruesome. You know what I'm saying? Like why we can't educate each other? Why we can't come in here? And this channel here. Oh yeah, we're gonna speak to you when you come in. That's our main thing. making sure that you acknowledge, because you're a person. You can be anywhere in the world and you're listening to someone that is, guess what? I'm all about it, right? You know, I'm not disrespecting nobody, but don't play with me. Because just because I love people, and you know what? If something was happening to anybody here, or regardless what color, creed, nationality, what you believe in, alternative lifestyle, whatever, you know what? I'll come running. I will. I'll be 100%. You know, I'm going to tell you guys something. I didn't even want to tell you this. When I was telling y'all that story about Sunday night into Monday morning, I can tell you one thing about the man that was complaining about his wife. And I'm going to say this, knowing I already know. Knowing I told you guys, I said, he looked at me like I needed to get up and go do something. Like I was some kind of slave, or like I'm black and then this other nurse needs to tell me what to do. She can't tell me what to do. Actually, my credentials is more higher than hers. But here's the thing. I wasn't the nurse on that hall. But he wanted her to get up to tell me to do something. Here's the thing, you guys. And I can tell you this. And honestly, I already knew that this man had in his heart this slave mentality. Like he was fixated on, how can I say this and not hurt nobody's feelings? Because you ain't got to tell me what you about. I've already noticed it, that you're superior because of your color. I put it like that, right? Okay. But you know what? I'm going to say this. When I walked in that room and his wife was in distress, I didn't care. I didn't care what he thought. I put 100% into it, and she's still alive. You know what I'm saying? You guys, don't ever get me twisted. You know, I could have been like, oh, since y'all want to be racist or whatever, or blah, 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 I'm just mind my own business. What that gonna get me? That ain't gonna get me nothing. I'm gonna feel some kind of way going home knowing that I didn't do 100. See, here's the thing, and people don't get, like, there is still a possibility that, and that's why we go over this stuff. There's still a possibility that she could be, you know, and I'm not trying to give nobody false hope, but there is still a possibility she could be alive. If it wasn't, yeah, you know, but there's a possibility. You know why? Because the shoes that we seen her in last, they ain't found them. The pants that she was in last, they ain't found them. The shirt that she had on last, they ain't found that. The colorful jacket that everybody talk about, but they don't talk about the child. Isn't it really weird? Nobody sees this child's face. Nobody can really sit there and say, what I know for a fact it was Naziah. I seen her face. That was her. But they can identify that jacket. Oh, it was a rug rack jacket. Oh, it was a colorful jacket. But they cannot identify. She's sitting there at their house for an hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour. She didn't say anything. We asked her, did she want something to eat, want some water or something? She didn't even go to the bathroom. She sat there and watched TV in our living room. I can't tell you what she looked like. I can't tell you anything else she was wearing. Okay, she got in the truck and out the truck, in the truck and out the truck, in the truck and out the truck. She walked in front of me, but I'd never seen her face. We don't cast them out like that just because, Because we're looking at the information, and the information is still saying, hey, if this was my child, I'm just going to be honest with you. If it was my child, I will hold, I'm going to be smart enough to say it's a possibility what they're saying is true, because there's blood, and because there has not. But see, the reason why they're saying that, and that was good to hear that again. Reason why the judge believed that she could be deceased. What's the reason, Judge? Why do you say that there's sufficient evidence that, even though there's a circumstantial evidence, but why is it that you still, why do you believe that? Oh, because there has not been no more chitter chatter, no more text messages. Well, she ain't called home. She haven't been seen. No more. Where's the rugrat jacket? Where's the shoes that she was wearing? Where's the pants she was wearing? Now, we already know he done threw the glasses away or gave them to her or something. I don't know. But I'm just saying, if he wanted everybody to find that, because he didn't throw it in the river, he didn't throw it in the lake or anything, why we didn't find what she was wearing? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And, it's surprising to me because, we want to keep her face out there. And if you notice on the thumbnail, I put her right in the middle. Yeah, you're going to have to look at it and see it again. Leisure says she did what she came to do on earth. Yeah, some people that's why they're, probably, I'm just saying, you guys, we get all of these warnings and everybody's talking about the red flags. But the first thing we be like, we want to go in front of everybody and be like, we done seen that red flag before. And she's probably positive. She was like, I ain't trying to be negative. Where's the new news? Well, we know that there's not going to be no new news until October. And I'm sad to say, there's only so much we can say about Naziah. But, yeah, if you start looking at the world and what the world's telling you, and you start looking at how all these little girls are coming up and they're not paying attention to what's going on, they're looking at YouTube, and they're looking at TikTok, and they're looking at the dance and looking at what they wear. And yeah, you can't change the whole world. But if one person in here tell the daughter, please don't put that on, like, go put some clothes on. You know what I'm saying? I know you pretty. Or talk to their child. You don't know. The Lord said one can bring 1,000 and 1,000 can bring 10,000. Y'all see, some of y'all be knowing what I be saying because you know God's words, right? This is my day off, just like yesterday was my day off, but I still come on here. I got a whole yard out there to sod and put dirt in and trees in and all this other stuff, but I still try to come on every day. And we all know that, the story of Naziah, ain't nobody really saying anything. And the ones that are speaking on her, they scared. I'm going to tell y'all this. There's people speaking and talking and telling me stuff. If you only knew. I don't say it because I got to say it because I ain't got to say nothing. But they write about something. They're right about something. See, because YouTube can mess up a lot of stuff. YouTube can mess up a lot of stuff. People take stuff. I mean, we were actually on a case. ESK man, we was on a case on I think it was I think what was the case on, and we were talking about King Hill. It was Philadelphia. Was King Hill, you guys? Was King Hill in Philadelphia? Somebody in the chat, let me know. King Hill was either Philadelphia. I think he was Philadelphia. King Hill, Philadelphia. Let me King Hill. And everybody didn't even know that wasn't even the baby's name. King Hill. Thank you, woke to God. We were on a case in King Hill. A little boy came up missing. And people was, you know what I'm saying? We had our YouTube going and all this other stuff. So, so family, I reached out, they reached out to me. I'm pretty sure they reached out to me. But in every case, I'm not patting myself on the back. But if you know, you know. If you've been here, you know. In every case, we have inside information, no matter what. Whether you believe it or not, okay? I'm just telling you the truth. And so on that case, we were still looking for King Hill, not knowing what happened or anything. It looked bad, and it was bad, and and everything. But I'm just giving you a highlight. So we were talking about the case, and people reached out to me. It was the stepfather, which is pretty much was the father of, he was pretty much the father. His name was Marvin. You guys remember that? Let me know in the chat. But he reached out and he said this to me, and he said that to me, and he said this, and he said that. And I said, well, what can I say to the people? Can I say this? Can I say? He said, you can say this, you can say that, you can say this, that. I came on the channel working already 2-3 jobs at the time, came on this channel and said, hey, you guys, Marvin said this, and Marvin said that. And people was in the chat, and they were like, SP, they were making channels and stuff talking about she lying. I can't believe what she say, and I can only hear it from the horse's mouth, and da 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 whoop de whoop de wee. I said to myself, well, he said it, you guys. There was people in the channel. Why did she say that? That's a lie. She don't know what she's talking about. I ain't got to lie to you guys. You know what I can do? I can push this button right here that says end stream, and that's it, and go outside and do my yard. Got no reason in the world. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what? They were sitting there saying I was lying so much. Did you know what this man did? This man said, I'm going to come on your channel. And I've been talking to him all week. Let me tell you something else. If you remember that. Remember little boy, Cash Garner case down there in Texas. We was talking to the mama of Darian Brown. I didn't tell you. You know why I didn't tell you? You guys do too much. Do too much. But you realize I wasn't down there just to just knock on doors. I was down there because I was invited down there. Little girl came up missing. What was her name? Her name was Malia Bass. That was Texas too. I said to myself, I said, who's this woman right there running? Oh, that's just somebody. Oh, no. I said, no. I need to get in touch with her. In every case. Cupcake came up missing. We all got to know. Everybody was like, oh, it was at the park and it was this and it was that. And I was like, no, you guys, it wasn't. I got somebody down there. I'm trying to tell you guys, you'll miss your water when your well runs dry. Ain't nobody gonna come onto a crappy channel where people being negative, saying stupidity things, or being being argumentative to not only the person that's hosting the channel, but coming in, like we just not about all that. I mean, it gets views and clicks and stuff, but no, we give them a safe place to come to. So when they come, you guys are going to be smart enough to ask the questions that they can answer, or talk to them like you got sense. We don't. I just don't want those kind of channels. You know what I'm saying? It's not entertainment right now. I mean, it is YouTube, but it's not entertainment for me. This is not entertainment. Entertaining someone is you're going to get laughs and giggles. This is not for laughs and giggles, you guys. This is for to keep her name alive, to keep, when we go to another subject, a topic, it's almost like this girl didn't mean anything. I'm serious. That's what it means. It means like she didn't mean nothing. I don't know. Maybe I am a little harsh on people when they come in here with that kind of mind setting, but I know exactly what you meant when you said it. You can, people can say what they want to say, but I know exactly what you meant. Just the way I took it is the way you meant it. And if it wasn't, well, my bad. Because I'm going to make sure you know exactly what I meant when I say what I said. It ain't going to be no, I meant this. It's going to be exactly what I said. Because I said what I said. I'm very clear about what I said. I'm very, very clear about my whole objective. You ain't even going to have to worry about it, wonder about it, or anything. Like, no, you're going to know I meant exactly what I said. Because I'm not mean. Trust and believe. People take advantage of me all the time, and I can care less. If they want it, only thing you got to do is ask, and I'll give it to you. If I got it. If I ain't got it, only thing I can say is I ain't got it. I'm sorry, I can't help you. But everybody that know me be like, you better than me. You better than me. I know I'm not better than you. It's just I don't really care. But I do care about these kids. So don't do that. Just don't do that, because I love these kids. And, if this was my daughter, I would be saying her name every day, hoping and praying that she did run away, hoping that, her life did matter. And, the only way, I'm tired of getting street signs and getting laws and stuff. Shoot, ain't nothing changed. These people still, you know what? I was just looking at the Tyrese Nichols case where they're closing that up, where the young kid on the skateboard got taken out by these 5 police officers. Actually, it was more than 5, but nevertheless, we seen the video and everything. They come in there, the police talking about they put soft hands on him. That is like a slap in the face, you guys. They waited until everybody moved on to another subject. Now hardly barely anybody remembers what happened. You know, I almost throw up seeing that video, hearing that boy cry out for his mama. And that's how this world is. Next. But over here, we stay on these cases because they do matter. Yeah, Naziah's life matters. It really does. And Tyrese Nichols, every time when we in a video, you guys see him skating on the skateboard. You know, people be like, I get tired of that. You know what? I see their faces. I don't get tired of it. I don't get tired of it because guess what? That's somebody's child. That mother grieves every day. That child don't get to come home because somebody had to put hands on. Do you know they was doing the closing arguments today, right? And they were talking about how these officers were talking about the blows and whoop, whoop, whoop. And he was taking them pieces and all this other stuff. And he was handling it. And he was in, and the man's dead. There's no new news other than he's gone. That's it. And we're getting to the point in this world that almost like we don't have no feelings. Like, don't worry about it. It's going to be another child. Don't worry. It's going to be another child. You can just go talk about another child. Let's see here. I just want to see here. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, Christy. Hey. So, you know, Detroit is one of the worst places, you know, these children are missing. But, you know, the reason why we got an Amber Alert is because Amber came up missing. Y'all do know that, right? Amber, you know, she was a 9-year-old child in Texas. She came up missing, and that's how we got an Amber Alert. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. You look at all these kids that's missing. Well, I'm glad these 2 kids just came up. They found them. Yeah, 26 years later. Her killer hasn't been captured yet. Yep. Amber Hagerman, murdered, inspired. Amber Alert, 26 years ago. That's 2000. And 2000, well, it's 1999. People do this stuff, and these people are getting worse and worse. They really is. You know. Let's see here, though. You know. The last one, they talking about London. May 2025, including the missing teen London, whose body was found. Additionally, the case was found. Additionally, the case of Kayla Hunter and Christine Justice, whose mother was murdered in Detroit, continued to be unsolved. Her body was found and 2 suspects are in custody. You know who was the suspect? The boyfriend and the mother. See what I'm saying? So, anybody remember the Amanda Smart case? Exactly. We remember that. Actually, so there's this girl. Her name is Tasia. I guess that's what you guys want to call her, Tasia Katon. And they're saying that she's been sex trafficking. Tisha's 16. She has been missing since March the 14th. Police say that there is information that suggests she might be being sex trafficked. The teen, who has a history of running away and being sexually assaulted, ran away from the Vesta Maria facility for vulnerable youth. She's 5 feet 2 inches, 130 pounds. She got blue eyes, brown hair, but she is known to change the color and cut it short. Multiple sources that Tasia ran away from the facility with a 12-year-old girl with cognitive delay. After that, a man in a dark sedan picked the girls up and brought them to a nearby hotel where he allegedly gave them alcohol and drugs. Sources said that this man, John, tried to sexually assault the 12-year-old girl, but Tasia took the abuse instead. The 12-year-old is safe, but Dearborn Heights police chief said that they believe Katon has been sexually assaulted at least 2 times since she went missing on March the 14th. Hello. So, the teen, also known to be in Detroit area on Suit Street, out south. But since that gas station sighting, there hasn't been any other sighting. She also hasn't been active on social media, and police fear that she's possibly being held against her will. These girls think it's better out there in this world, you guys. Hello. Hey, Evelyn, how you doing? Anybody remember Amanda Smart? Yeah. She said Tasia moved in with her July of 2022 because her mother got worse. She passed away on Thanksgiving in 2022, Way said. At this time in her life, Tasia was 14 old and also started to get in fights and kept getting suspended from school. The teen then met a man playing Fortnite online and ended up in Ohio. Dang. Identified this man as a 36-year-old Greg and said he has been charged with grooming and sexually assaulting Tasia. Police received 368 calls for services at Vesta Maria facility in 2024. As the search for Tasia continued, Local 4 has learned about the growing numbers of calls police have received involving the Vesta Maria facility. In 2024, we've had 368 calls for services at that location. These included assault and battery, fights, staff being assaulted, juveniles out of control. Our officer has force in some case, and we've seen injuries ranging from fingers to backs and ankles. It's a major drain on our manpower. The chief said the number of calls has increased over the past year. Really don't know why it's gotten worse, but it could be staffing issues or hiring unqualified, untrained individuals. I understand they might be taking on more than they can handle. 2 active investigations involving former Vesta Marie staff member teams. Police also confirmed that there are 2 active investigations involving a former Vesta Marie staff member. We received tips about a male staff member potentially involved with juvenile residents. There's a significant age difference, and we're looking into possible assault. Another jurisdiction also investigating another case involving the same former staff member and another team. Sources tell Local 4 the staff member was terminated after the facility discovered video of the male staff member picking up one of the teenage female resident in his own vehicle. After that allegation of sexual assault surfaced, we need to get Tasia back, not just for her safety, but to speak with her about what happened. If these allegations are true, we will seek a warrant and make sure that individual is held accountable. That sounds like, I didn't remember the Amanda Smart case. I just familiarized myself with it. You don't remember Amanda Smart? I remember Amanda Smart. We alerted police immediately on March the 14th when Tasia left our property and initiated the search for her. We have been working with law enforcement ever since to help ensure our heart goes out to the aunt and the rest of the family. Vesta Marie has a 142-year history of providing trauma-informed care, mental health stability, foster care. Police. So this girl is running for her life, you guys. She said, I did not. Police are seeking assistance. Tasia is known anything about her. They said we've got tips that are leading us in the right direction. Hopefully within the next 48 hours, we'll have something solid. They ain't found the girl yet. They ain't found her yet, you guys. Anywho, well, dang, I got my phone is charged. Let's see here. My phone doing something different. Okay. Yeah, I just sometimes, you guys, when I come on here, it's just because she's on my mind. You know, I can go a day, but I don't go a day without thinking about Naziah. And you know, that it might be weird, but it ain't weird to me. I just want to keep her on you guys' mind too. You know, like I don't look at red flags and be like, oh, it's red light. Okay, let's just keep going. You know, I look at this stuff and I don't have any girls. I mean, my girls are all grown and I thank God for that. But it'd be like, oh, I eat my cake and as long as my belly's full, I'm fine. You know, like, you know, and then we'll set up and we be like, and the first thing we say is, other races, you know, they go out and they look for this kid, and they do that and they do this. Well, you know why? Because they don't have some people in there that's doing the foolish things that we do. You know, we be the first one put our people down, put our kids down. Don't give them the things they need. Don't leave them with no kind of inheritance. Don't leave them with no schooling. I know it's hard, you guys, because I tried to do it, and I'm just saying, but and we want them to figure it out and things like that. We want them to have a better life than what we had. Our life wasn't really bad, to be honest with you. Look where you're at. You're at where you at because you probably did have to go through what you went through. You learned some stuff. We making it so easy for these kids, and then you can be whatever you want to be, and you can do this and you can do that. And don't worry, they missing school. Oh, it's okay. Oh, they just doing a little weed. That's all, trying to be their friend instead of be the parent. I'm just saying, you guys, we done all went through it. I can't sit here and say something that I don't know about. Like, we all done did things wrong as parents. We all done, things. But, we had this one little girl came up missing down there in Alabama. Her name was Cupcake. And, the sad thing about the Cupcake case was, let me share this with you. This little girl was 3 years old. And if you don't know about it, you might as well just Google her name. Mama dropped her off at a birthday party that she wasn't even invited to. Didn't know nobody at this birthday party. Matter of fact, the birthday party was in like a crack alley, project, right? And she went on about her business. Do you not know that this woman came up on our channel and was like, the only thing she did wrong was she got comfortable. People was like, SP, don't be after her. Yeah, I heard a whole bunch. But this girl was in the cash house. I literally had to show you guys where she spent her time. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If I don't smoke weed, you're not going to find me at the weed house. If I don't do crack, you're not going to find me at the crack house. Now, if I gamble and I go, you might find me at the casino. Probably once, 2, 3 times a year. You know what I'm saying? Things I do, that's where you're going to find me at. But this girl was like sticking her tongue out and everything. I'm back at work. Your child is deceased. Gone. Are you stupid or something? Exactly. Lisa Calhoun said. That's what she was saying. Nolan, take me home. Take me home. And then had the nerve to lie and try to make it like I was treating her wrong. No, I'm letting you guys already see what it is. It is what it is. You sitting there sticking your tongue out like you really doing me some damage. My kids are grown. My kids are still here. And the funny thing about it was I wasn't even talking bad about the woman. I was like, you come in here, and I was talking about somebody else, but you took offense to it. You know why you took offense to it? Because you thought I was talking about you, but I wasn't. But now that you had came in my life, let me ask you some questions. That's how that went down. That was weird. I had already chatted with them prior to all of that. And we didn't argue or anything. Then she gonna pop up and be like, and everybody's like, SP, she lost her baby, and you being really hard on her. And I haven't said anything to her. I said I wasn't even talking to her. Go back and look at what I said. Yes, Cupcake's mom's name was April. He says, what I do remember is she was doing some stuff she had no business doing while leaving Cupcake at a party she wasn't even invited to. Exactly. She was, that's what I'm saying, like, these women these days, they'll listen to a man and leave their kids. Leave their kids. Leave the kids with a man that ain't the baby's father. You got to watch out even for the father. And it ain't just men. You see, Jarvis, some woman took advantage of him. You know why his sister was sitting there crying on the stand, you guys? Think about it. She's going to hurt her brother. And he going to think bad of her. But she got to do the right thing. No, serious. I'm serious. Sometimes you got to forsake all others. She was doing the right thing. Everybody that came on that stand other than his sister, all was lying. Every last one of them. I didn't, none of them told the truth. None of them at all told the truth. But the sister did. You say, SP, why you say that? Because guess what? She didn't get nothing out of sitting there saying that Naziah was there at that shop. But she knew it was going to dig a hole for her brother. Do you know when they went in the back, she said, okay, now check this out. She said, it was something that they said, what made you think that your brother think bad of your brother? That was Naziah that day. You know what she said? She said it was something that his baby mama said to her. Now think about that. And then she turns around and she said, do you want me to tell you what it was? And they was like, hey, Judge, no, Judge, Well, let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Let me go in here and look. Da 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 da.
No. Following that's when you decided to go back to the shop?
Yes.
To speak to Cordell?
Yes.
And to discuss some of these things you've been learning? Okay. And then other than when you went to the gas station, were you always at the shop?
What do you mean?
So did you go anywhere else?
No, I never left. All I did was move my car when he asked me to move my car. And once the driveway was clear, I back where I was. I didn't go anywhere else.
Okay. And when you were present, not going to the gas station, were you always inside your vehicle?
Yes.
Were your doors open or closed?
Closed.
Okay. And were your windows up or down?
They were up unless I asked him something.
Okay, so sometimes if you needed to communicate, you just open the window?
Or I would call him, yeah. Yes.
And you were saying today that at one point you did speak to Jarvis about who this girl was?
Yes.
And when you were talking to the police about this, you had said that you weren't sure exactly what his response was?
What I said was I wasn't sure of the word.
Sure, that's what I mean.
Okay.
You told the police, right, that it might have been King's niece, or maybe he said it's my homeboy's niece.
He said it was his partner or King's niece, but he definitely said it was someone else's niece.
Okay, does it sound right to you that you used the term homeboy's niece with the police?
I probably did.
Okay.
It's all the same to me.
And then that's what you continue to think at first, right? At first, you just believed that it was someone else's niece.
Yeah,
Specifically, you thought it was probably King's niece.
that's what I was told.
Which I think, as we established, right, King is the same person as Cordell, right?
Yes.
And then after that, you would listen to some of these podcasts and to the news.
I listened to his kid's mother, and then I watched the podcast.
Okay, so those are some things.
You guys, did you hear what she said? She said, I listened to his kid's mother. Then I listened to the podcast. So whatever Jarvis's sister heard from his baby's mama made her believe, dang, my brother got something to do with this. You guys understand what I just told you? Exactly, Jay. Jarvis's sister was the only one that shedded tears. She said, I listened to his kid's mama. Let's hear her say that again.
Police, right, that it might have been King's niece, or maybe he said it's my homeboy's niece.
He said it was his partner or King's niece, but he definitely said it was someone else's niece.
Okay, does it sound right to you that you used the term homeboy's niece with the police?
I probably did.
Okay.
It's all the same to me.
And then that's what you continue to think at first, right? At first, you just believed that it was someone else's niece.
Yeah,
Specifically, you thought it was probably King's niece.
that's what I was told.
Which I think, as we established, right, King is the same person as Cordell, right?
Yes.
And then after that, you would listen to some of these podcasts and to the news.
I listened to his kid's mother, and then I watched the podcast.
Okay, so those are some things that happened.
Yes.
And then once you started to have this different information you were gathering, then you kind of started to look into it for yourself.
Yes.
Do some of your own investigation.
Yes.
And then at one point following that, that's when you decided to go back to the shop.
Yes.
To speak to Cordell.
Yes.
And to discuss some of these things you've been learning with him.
Yes.
You and Jarvis are not particularly close.
I wouldn't say that we're really distant. I don't see him every day. I don't talk to him every day, but he's my brother.
Okay. He's your brother, but you don't have a very close relationship, or?
He's my brother.
Okay. What about with his children? Are you close with his children?
Some of the ones that I know.
So he has 13 kids, right?
I have no idea.
Do you have an idea of around how many kids he has?
A lot.
Okay. Do some of them live with different mothers?
Yes.
She said he has a lot
You
of
don't spend
kids.
time with all of them.
No.
So which ones do you know?
I don't want to say their names. They're minors.
Okay.
And I don't want to disclose their identity.
Could you just give like a number instead? How many do you know?
I'm counting.
Yeah, I don't think she knows how many kids he had because nobody knows how many kids he really have. He got
Okay,
kids he ain't even
So when you
talked
say
about.
8 that you know, does that mean 8 that you have like personal contact with?
I have.
Okay. When is the last time that you've seen any of them?
Maybe about 2 months ago.
Were you and Jarvis raised by your grandmother?
For the most part.
And were there some events surrounding her death that related to your relationship with Jarvis that impacted some things?
No.
Oh, I have no further questions. Thank you.
Any redirect?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Butts, you said that there was another reason, there's a different reason that she thought that it was Naziah that she would saw that day. When you were starting to compile, or when you talked to Shannon Harris, and then you got the podcast. Before that, you said there was other reasons why you had thought that was Naziah.
So
This is what I'm talking about right here.
am I?
Yes.
Can I speak for
What is
okay,
that? Yes.
So at the time I didn't know. Once I realized that it was a possibility that I saw her, there were several reasons that led me to believe that it was a possibility I was there. And I didn't want to get into detail as far as what I knew before the podcast. But if you would like, I would explain to you why I thought these things.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Can we?
Okay, you guys. I got one question to ask everybody in the channel. So you guys put it out there. So she did not. She said she didn't want to go off in the details about what she knew prior to watching the podcast. But if you want me to, I can go through it. And then they're like, and she gave them time to say, okay, are you going to say what you know or what you heard or what somebody told you or whatever? What do you think it is? Exactly, Rosalind. He doesn't even know how many kids he got, but he got a whole bunch of them. He got, these women was like, I want to have his baby. And you know what? They love them some Jarvis. They said that he give them some attention when nobody else was giving them attention. Okay, let's see what she say.
Approach. Yes. Be right back.
This is so sad. This is sad. And break down because she's got to do the right thing. It ain't even her kid. The child ain't even kin to her, but she got to do the right thing. This is sad. This is horrible. She's sitting there thinking about it. She's looking at a friend that's done went there, and look at her face. Just look. To do the right, she look at her brother. He won't even look at her. She's sitting there like, why in the heck did you do this? Unbelievable. Oh my God, this is horrible. You know, it's Yes, she never forgot that feeling watching that little girl. And look at him.
You need some water or something?
Look at him. He got his head down. He won't even look up.
It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. ESK said, yeah, I felt for her when she broke down. I felt for her just having to testify against her own brother. Yeah. She telling the truth on that stand. Yeah. I believe it. I believe it without a doubt. Watch what they say when they come back, you guys. We're getting ready to get off of here.
You need to do some more? No, just it. Okay. I got like 2 more minutes. Okay, we are back on the record. Ms. Butts, you are still under oath. Ms. Ripley, go right ahead.
Thank you. So, Ms. Butts, what's the sources of these reasons that you have? Are these things that you know from your personal knowledge? Are these things that you observe yourself?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Repeat that.
So these reasons that you were thinking of, what are the sources of them? Is it somebody told you something? Is it something that you saw yourself, you observed, or a coupling of that?
I would say a bit of both. Things that I was told and things that I heard.
Okay. Were there heard from Jarvis?
No.
Okay. Were these things that you had already known prior?
Prior to
thinking that was Naziah that you saw?
I'm sorry, I'm confused on the question.
So are these things the sources that you have for these reasons? Are they like things that you have personal knowledge of, or are they things that somebody told you about?
these were things that I was told. I'm trying to understand the question that you're asking me.
Ms. Ripley, you're referring to the question before we went into sidebar about her leading up to believing that it was possibly Naziah Harris at the shop, correct?
Yes.
Does that help clarify
Okay.
the line of questioning?
Yes.
Okay. So, those reasons, those things, are those things that you had known before? Are they based on your observations, or?
Well, these were things that I was told. And after asking the questions that I needed to ask, I came up with the conclusion that it was a possibility that Naziah was the little girl that I saw that day.
Thank you. You said that when you were parked at Jarvis's shop, that it was.
So I'm gonna say this, you guys, real quick. She said the questions that she had asked. So she literally asked some questions. Hey, this is SP.
Hey, SP.
Hey, what's up?
I dig you on that one. That sister, she was there to tell the truth because she seen Naziah but didn't know who she was. But after talking to the baby mama, she said that might have been a little girl I seen.
Exactly.
That's how she came forth with the information that she had, because if she hadn't learned nothing from that baby mama, and then I don't know what podcast she was watching, what podcast was she really watching to even learn something about her brother. Mark D, 7 Mile Radio?
Yep. That's the only one that was really doing something back then.
Okay, yeah. So, but when she talked to the baby mama, that's what made her go to the police.
Exactly.
And she's sitting up there about to have a nervous breakdown. He would not even look up at her, not one time.
No.
And they was all in the room together, just him and her.
Yeah. And he wouldn't even look at her. And when he did, you see his eyes was watering like he.
Yeah, because he loved that little girl, and they blaming his murder on him.
Yeah.
Because they connected that he was the last one with this little girl.
So she wasn't talking about Shannon's kids, because remember she called Shannon.
Right. She didn't say Shannon. She said his baby mama. That's one of the other baby mamas.
Exactly. And he's got a 2-year-old. He wasn't talking about the 2-year-old.
No, she only talking about the baby mama that she know he got kids with. She don't know the other kids' mamas. She didn't mention nothing about him. You're right. She said his baby mama.
Yep.
And then they kept asking her, do you know all his kids? And she say, yeah, she don't want to disclose. She protect the kids because they minors. I don't want to say their names. But the ones she do know, she knows. The ones she do know, she knows.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want to say their names. She protected their names.
Yeah.
So the baby mama she got the information from, that's what made her want to go back and ask King. Because that's what her brother told her. The little girl was there. That's King niece.
Right.
So she went to go confront King to find out was that his niece.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And King was like, no, that was Naziah.
So now this is where everybody broke off into the goddamn room because she knows some stuff that they did know.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's why they broke in the back.
Yeah.
And then, if you ever peep it, when they came out of the back, what they was asking her, did you see where the brother, Jarvis' lawyer, when he went behind Jarvis out there in the little pew?
Right.
When the lady was asking the questions.
Yeah, and them 2 women got to talking to him. Did you you see that? They got to talking to him like, who is she talking about? What can she know? What child is speaking? What's your other kid's name? Or what could she be saying?
Yeah, that's why they trying to figure it out.
Because she broke down and
because stuff that they don't know.
Right.
And she wasn't trying to reveal it all at once, but she blurted it out like, hey, you want me to tell you?
Exactly.
And they like, no. Listen, no, you don't blow the case.
Exactly. Yeah. If you, I think she could have, if she would have said what she knew.
She ain't done because she gonna be in the trial. She's the very best witness of any witness on this trial.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
They say 40 other witnesses, but they don't want to tell y'all. They don't want us to know that she may be one of the 40, but and we didn't see no other witnesses to get bothered over but her. She was the best witness and the truest.
Exactly. And that's his sister. She got no reason to come on there and lie.
She not there lying for jobs. She there to tell the people what she know.
Yeah. Because it puts a bad light on her for being there. If they would have found out, because remember, she contacted them. They didn't contact her.
Now, since she had just stayed anonymous.
Yeah.
She'll be like that lady, boy mama that they bring a charge about London.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. Put her in a bad situation real quick.
That's why I've been saying and praying. The only way that we're gonna be able to bring anybody else down with Jarvis, we need a body.
Right.
So they can determine time of death. So now when motherfuckers asking you questions, that's just like this lady with London. They've been asking her questions and she was telling them lies and lies. When they found the body, they determined the time of death. So the question we was asking you, this girl was dead and you was telling us lies then.
Exactly.
They got her because they got a body.
Exactly.
That's why I kept saying, boy, I sure hope they find a body. Because the body gonna tell who was involved, how many players was involved. And one thing I know for sure, them kids y'all talking about Jarvis in his eyes and crying and shit, he cried because of Naziah. He ain't crying because of none of the other people. And they all point the finger and making him the scapegoat.
Yep. Exactly.
I know one thing, they say they don't know how many kids he got. He know he had a baby with Naziah. So
yep.
That's one kid he knew for sure. He can't say it's nobody else.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, and I was just listening to your boy the other day, Shake Rock. You know, King had a fling thing with Shannon, and Shannon had a fling thing with him. So what was their motive? That's why they asked him that him and Jarvis have a dispute about Shannon.
Exactly. Exactly. Shannon's been with King and Shannon's been with Frank. Yeah.
She's sleeping with whoever she can sleep with for a month.
Yeah. I try to tell them that, and somebody came in and was like, she did it, and I was like, nope. Hey, there's a reason why I said what I said. There's a reason why I said what I said, because I know.
Shannon got her own motive. Just like she had her own motive with Jarvis.
You know, I was thinking, and this may be off, but you know, sometimes I just think about stuff, and sometimes I'm like, okay, was they trying to, you know, push her into some sexual activity, you know, with, you know, at the
cop auto shop?
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on at them auto shops. I don't think nobody knows but the kids that was down there. Yeah, because one of the grown-ups down there. See, the thing is, they were sending the kids with no supervision. So,
yeah, because something's ain't right about.
That's what the girl said. She, you know, she said, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? That cast doubt about this motherfucking kids coming down to the shop.
Yeah.
She said that cast doubt.
Yeah.
Too much doubt in that.
That's crazy. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
She said about the kids going down to the shop. She said that cast too much doubt.
Exactly.
Then she went on talking about she didn't believe the witness when they said that the defendant never come to the house. And then she said the text message explained that you know what I'm saying, that testimony was not credible. It was, you know what I'm saying, that was you talking about a net.
Yep.
Lied.
Yeah, because he was always there at the house, in the basement and going to the room. Yeah.
She said according to the text messages, he was in the house. So therefore, another lie. They wouldn't bring her back on the stand for what? She was lying. We lied at the preliminary. Now that sister gonna be on that trial.
Yeah. And
if we don't know the other 39 witnesses, that sister gonna be on that trial.
And the baby mama too.
Which one?
The one she talking about.
Oh yeah, but we didn't ever see her.
Oh, she was there.
Was she on the stand?
She was on the stand, and they closed the court, and because the child was on the stand also.
Okay, yeah, they both were in the courtroom together. Okay.
And they wouldn't let us see that.
Okay. Well, that's number 2 witness.
Yep.
Because of the kid.
That's what I was trying to tell everybody. Everybody like, SP, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, yes, I do know what I'm talking about. I know.
Them 2 witnesses right there, the 40 witnesses, they claiming they got new 40 witnesses. Them 2 witnesses, most definitely. The girl, the mama that came with the kid, and they didn't show that broadcast that because she had the minor with her.
Exactly.
You're right. Only people seeing that was the people that was actually in the courtroom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, y'all got all these people coming on your channel. Why they ain't telling you what happened behind the scenes that the cameras couldn't show us?
Yeah, but some of the people that was in the courtroom, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, though. They're talking about, they're arguing with each other about who this. But you guys did not tell us that behind cameras that they had 2 children at that courthouse testifying. And the baby mama's there.
Everybody that I seen the news show that looked like they was in the courtroom, I seen Roxy in the courtroom, so they was down there in the courtroom when all that happened. They can't vlog that. What I'm saying, I don't know. It's still a trial going on.
But they should have said that was happening, though. They should have told us that was happening.
Yeah, but they probably got a gag order.
I don't know about all that. I caught wind of it.
Yeah. Maybe the judge said it was a gag order. What was her name? The brief.
Yeah.
Maybe she said a gag order. Maybe she might have pointed out a few people in the courtroom before a gag order. They podcasted.
Well.
You can best believe the prosecution told, hey, some of these people in the courtroom, y'all are podcasters, and they also are family members.
So they probably had to leave. They had to make them leave.
And they couldn't see what was really going on.
Exactly, because you got to protect them victims.
I can understand them making them leave out the courtroom and then having people come in through another way.
Yeah.
Better through the hallway where civilians is. Maybe back there in the room with a judge there, they come in through that way.
This is why I was trying to tell people it probably be best for him to, because it doesn't matter. He's going to get those accounts for the assault.
Each of them carry too much time. So ain't no way he gonna beat them, but them unbeatable.
Exactly. They're not even fighting that. They're only fighting the murder charge.
And that's only because they don't have a body. So they say you don't need a body to charge a murder, but they fight the fact that you need a body. You know what I'm saying? They want a body present to say they crimes are guilty of murder.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They want a body. That's why they fighting. So they fight because they don't have a body.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta fight.
Right. Okay.
Ain't no other way around that.
Yeah.
You can't even plead to that.
Exactly.
Well, if you plead to it, you have to tell what the body is.
Yeah.
You
Well.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't think Garvey was killed.
I don't think his intentions was to kill her, but it happened.
I think he had help with that antifreeze. I want to say them goddamn Annette and Shannon them guilty of giving that girl antifreeze at home.
Probably did.
Hey, and monitoring that shit. Mixing it with Kool-Aid, mixing it with something, goddamn it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, because the reason I say that because she wouldn't have been sick at school if she wasn't getting that shit at home.
Right. Well, it only takes 30 minutes. It only a cap full of antifreeze only takes 30 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm saying they said she don't go nowhere else.
Right.
So that means for her to be sick at school, leaving home and going to school and nowhere else, she had to be getting that stuff ministered somehow, little doses at home.
Right.
And I think they just wanted to get rid of that baby because that's gonna take their kids and mess up their money.
Well, it done messed it all up because they got all the kids now.
When they get the kids,
they been had those kids.
I thought I heard what's the name saying them kids Shannon still got her kids.
Nope.
Marquita got her kids over there at that house with that new boyfriend.
Shannon don't have her kids, and Annette don't have her kids, and Marquita sent her kids to her baby daddy.
Yeah, well, she ain't sent them. They can't got the kids from her ass.
Yeah. So she.
That side of the family can't got the goddamn kids. You in the world a lot of trouble with these kids.
Yeah, because Roxy sent out a message and said the kids are gone, and if you know, you know. You know what that means.
I thought I was listening to something. Maybe that was I thought I was listening to something. They said the kids is not there. They still got them damn kids.
No. It's a fact. Them kids gone.
I must have seen an old segment on YouTube podcast or something.
No, them kids gone. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get off of here, and
you still on live?
I am, but I'm gonna get off the live, and then give me a little bit. I'm gonna call you back in a little bit. I got something to share with you. All righty.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here because we've been on here a long time. I do want to go over some more of the testimony, but it's been 2 hours and it's getting ready to get nighttime, so I got to get some work done. We'll come on tomorrow. We'll carry on with what we hear and what we know. We're still gonna keep Naziah's name out there, her pictures out there, her face out there. You guys let me know, how you feel about what's going on and all of that. And when I can share with you guys what I got and what I know, I do try to share with you. Sometimes you just got to read between the lines. All right. Be good, be safe, and be nice to each other. Bye.